Hi guys, welcome back to Spoons and Forks. I am Eliza and today I'm going to show you how to make a gender reveal cake. This is a very special cake which I made for my close friend and they're going to be parents for the first time. I am so excited for them and I cannot wait to meet the baby. So when they cut the cake and they found out the baby's gender, they were so happy and excited. We all were excited and it was so much fun. So if you would like to see how I made this cake, then please keep on watching. I'm going to make a vanilla cake, and for that I'm using 1.5 cup of all-purpose flour, half tablespoon of baking powder, and half teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to pass it through a sieve to make sure that there are no lumps, give it a whisk to combine everything and set it aside. Now for my wet ingredients, I'm using 1.5 stick of unsalted room temperature butter. To this I'm going to add 1.5 cup of sugar and I will whisk it for about 5 to 7 minutes. Now it's time to add eggs and I'm going to add my eggs one at a time, making sure that the first one is mixed well before adding the second one. For my flour and milk, I'm going to alternate them, adding flour in 3 and milk in 2 addition, starting and ending with flour. This step is very important because if you start with milk first, then your butter will separate, which is not good. Just make sure to scrape in between so that everything is combined well. And finally, I'm adding a little bit of vanilla extract. Here I have an 8-inch pan to which I applied some butter and flour and lined with a parchment paper to make sure my cake comes out easily from the pan after baking. I'm going to add all the batter in this pan. Now this goes into my countertop oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 50 to 55 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the center of the cake comes out clean. This is how it's looking like, and I let this cool completely before cutting it into 3 equal layers. For my frosting, I'm using 1.5 stick of unsalted room temperature butter and I will whisk it for about a minute. And now I'm going to add 20 ounces of cream cheese. I will combine them for about 2 minutes, scraping the bottom of the bowl in between. Now it's time to add some confection sugar. I'll be using 4.5 cup of confection sugar and will be adding gradually and mix them all together. Finally, I'm adding 1.5 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to color my frosting pink and blue because it's a gender reveal cake, and for that I'm going to divide my frosting in half, adding pink gel food color in one of my bowls. Back to the cake, I'm going to simple sweep up each layer before adding raspberry jam, and then I'm going to add pink frosting. Gently spread the frosting around the edges, and I will repeat the same for the second layer. Now here comes the fun part. I'm cutting the center of the cake with a 3-inch diameter round cup since I didn't have a round cookie cutter of that size, and later I'm going to fill the center with different sprinkles. But before that, I'm going to crumb coat the center part and set the cake into the fridge. So here are my sprinkles, and it's for a baby girl, so I'm using different types of pink sprinkles, and I'm going to fill the center with those sprinkles. Once done, I'm going to cover it with my last layer and then crumb coat and set it in the fridge for about an hour before adding the frosting. While my cake is in the freeze, I'm going to make some cake pops using the piece I took out from the center earlier. So I'm just going to mash with a fork and form some balls, and I will let it set in the freezer for about 2 hours. I colored half of my frosting pink, and now I'm going to color the other half blue, which I will use for decorating my cake later. To guide myself, I'm making a line with a toothpick in the middle of the cake so that half of the cake is pink and the other half is blue. Here I'm applying pink frosting on the first half and then blue frosting on the other half. Once done, I will let it set in the fridge for about 20 minutes. Now back to the cake pops. I'm inserting some toothpick to make the process easy. I melted some white chocolate and colored them in pink and blue, and now I'm going to dip some of the cake pops in the pink chocolate and then to pink sprinkles. I will repeat the same but using blue chocolate and blue sprinkles. Now for the final decoration, I'm piping beautiful rosettes with the pink frosting but on top of blue frosting using a Wilton star tip. Here I'm repeating the same process but this time using the blue frosting. Once done, I added cake pops to cover the center line and sprinkles some pink and blue sprinkles. This is how it turned out, and I included this video when the parents-to-be cut the cake and found out they're going to have a baby girl. It was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, please give me a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any of my new videos. I'll see you in my next video.